Welcome, travelers. I'm Josh.
And I'm Lee Wanika, and this is Tabletop Journeys, where we will be your not-so-humble guides on the quest for RPG adventures.
All right, welcome everybody to Tabletop Journeys. Very excited for tonight's game because I think that this is the first time in the kind of the history of Tabletop Journeys actual plays that none of us have ever played the game system. And it's not a new game system either, which is going to be interesting here. So we're gonna keep the front of show. First of all, hi Chris, hi Lee Nico, nice to see you. Chris is sitting in the prestigious chair normally occupied by Mr. Michael Ross. Mike, I hope you feel better. Hope your back is better because you've got a cruise coming up. So make sure that you get rested. So. We're gonna turn this one over pretty quick here, so we can get into tonight's game. So let me introduce first of all, Moe. Moe, welcome first of all to Tabletop Journeys. How are you doing tonight?
I am well.
Cool.
Thank you for having me. I'm a big fan of everybody on the stream, and look forward to running a good game for y'all.
Flattery will get you everywhere, Mo. That's fantastic. So
I didn't say I would be nice. I just said I looked forward to
it. This is going to be excellent.
Yeah, this is definitely the kind of show where we hand out points, but the points don't matter. So take that for what it's worth, nice or not.
Okay.
So, Mo, before we kind of get into the game introduction itself, why don't you introduce yourself to the Tabletop Journeys audience? It's your first time here.
I am new to the Tabletop Journeys audience, and I am not new to the anybody who's ever heard RPG Academy. I'm the former host of the former second host of the RPG Academy Show and Tell show, where I interviewed RPG designers about the ins and outs of making RPGs. And as an RPG designer, I was really geekily into that. I definitely kind of strove to keep it interesting for the audience and not get way inside baseball about like dice odds and stuff like that, because it can be interesting. But kind of like watching somebody eat, sometimes it doesn't always translate as well.
Yeah. Yep, I dig that. And as big fans of both the RPG Academy and Show and Tell, we're really excited to go ahead and have you tonight.
Yay.
So, yeah.
You're not exactly a stranger to Tabletop Journeys, because weren't you on Tabletop Cafe recently?
Was I? Did that episode come out?
Not yet.
Not yet. No. Spoilers.
Spoilers.
Louie Nico once again talking from the future, and I thought you said we couldn't play one of the time travelers tonight, but apparently Louie Nico did not get the memo on that.
So. You can't play. I can't stop anybody from any time travelers from playing, but nobody can play a time traveler. So yeah, I have the dubious distinction of being a true Blades in the Dark stan. And I love the system. I love how the Blades in the Dark game was always the Thieves Guild game I wanted to play in D&D. That D&D says you can do, but doesn't really support. After a while, you just don't get enough experience killing people, and you got to go out and kill monsters to level up. But Blades in the Dark did that, Thieves Guild game very well. It added a lot of really cool mechanical crunch to what you might want to do in a heist. And I thought it was really sexy and cool, and inspired me to make an RPG of my own called Shibuya Nights that some of the people listening may have backed and may hopefully have played, because I sent them. And it inspired me further to make a Blades in the Dark style board game called Dark Heist, where you build a gang and you do spooky heists like killing vampires or alchemying up addictive dust to then pay off the cops and set up shop and sell. I love all of that stuff. Definitely all PG, please. So tonight's adventure might be PG. Depends on these players and what they bring to the table. But we're going to be playing a game called Blades 68, which is kind of the pulpy, funky, disco 60s version of Blades in the Dark. It's 100 years in the future, and ghost punk has come a long way. Are you guys okay if I get into the world?
Yeah, please, absolutely. How about it?
All right. So we are about 40 years out from the Good War. The Good War was where we went to go destroy all the zombies. The zombies wanted to eat people and turn them into zombies. And everybody was pretty agreeable that that was a war that should have been fought. In that war, lots of technology was created, including infusing held spirits into hulls that is almost like robots, but they're run by ghost punk spirit power. And the new war, well, the government says it's a just war, but word on the street is that they're really just killing people in other places to create more soldiers. But that is so cynical. It could never be true. And so the world we're playing in takes place in a world that has suddenly become cynical, that has suddenly become a little less hopeful, and where people still feel like sometimes it's necessary to make a living doing crime. And that's where we're going to find ourselves in our adventure tonight.
Nice. Perfect.
Excellent.
I mean, I'm not sure what else introduction we need tonight. So, Mo, I think let's turn the floor over to you, sir. We are your awaiting posse here. So
cool. One of the cool things about this game is everybody, all the characters start with a day job, a thing that they do, sometimes to make money with, sometimes to get a lead on the next job. And so we're going to introduce our characters by doing a little vignette into their day jobs. So where are we going to find the character that goes by Meter Man?
Well, about 3:00 in the afternoon, Meter Man would be stopping by a local ramen house. He's going to grab a little ramen. He's going to put it into a wide thermos kind of style device and have that. He's going to spin past a little sweet shop and grab some donuts as well, because, you know, who doesn't want donuts with ramen? And he's going to pull up to the local stand where his cab will wait for the next fare. So probably right near public transportation or public transportation hub, something like that. When the fare gets in, he kind of stows his meal and begins the drive.
And you know, these new kind of insulated cups that don't even need ghost power. Like, you know, they're really new on the market, and you know, they're almost a status symbol of people who really are they a status symbol of something that you acquired, or a status symbol of who you are, just having a thermos?
It's more about who you are, because while they can be a little expensive, because they don't require that extra power, and they're really no frills. It is literally the device to hold the thing. It doesn't heat it up. It doesn't do anything other than contain the meal or the beverage, as it were. And because of that, it is really a symbol of that working person, whether they're toiling away at some factory style job or a mechanic for the downtrodden who don't have access to the fancy things that get done by other means. But it is really something you'll see. It is basically kind of like the Carhartt of the current age. It says a thing, and it has just on that cusp where maybe in about 5 to 10 years, it may actually become fashionable to have this thing.
Right.
But for right now, most common folk look down on the working class who currently are using this device, even though secretly they know it works really well.
It feels like Stanley Cups like 5 years ago.
Exactly. Yeah. This is the thing you have because it does what it's supposed to do,
right?
Not because it's fancy, and they have not yet made it hyper pink and done social media on it.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, Loot, where are you in your day job, and what's your orientation?
He has a little different day job. If we follow him throughout the day, we're going to see him as he's following various well-off people. And sometimes he's working for one of them and kind of, maybe following somebody's relative to see what they're doing, or following somebody's coworker to see what they're doing, or employee. He does a lot of work with taking pictures and making sure people know who's doing what. At the same time, he's also paying very close attention to their homes. So when things go south for him and he turns in the information and everything gets chaotic, he can sneak in the back door, help himself to a few items, and then out the door he goes. And he always ends his day by taking a nice walk down one of the streets that has people who are less fortunate, and he happens to drop a lot of the loot he finds.
Nice.
So he's not doing it for himself. He's doing it partially because he likes the challenge, and partially because he knows he can help others.
I love that. That's very egalitarian for you, redistributing the wealth, as it were. Lex, when people aren't calling you Lex, what are you doing?
Well, so as of like right now, you have to understand that the man has spoken. So I'm kind of between full-time gigs right now. But previously, I was a well-decorated author of governmental pamphlets and policies, all about civic mindfulness and some theories on behavioral engineering and things like that. Very, very, very highbrow stuff. And the more that I started getting into it, the more I realized just how corrupt the system is at its core. It's like an apple that's been eaten by a worm, and so all that's left is the skin. So, they told me to go ahead and get out. I told them, you can't tell me to get out because I don't want to be here in the first place. And so now I spend most of my days on street corners handing out the pamphlets that I write at 3:00 in the morning after drinking several Jolt Colas and wondering about the world, man, because I'm telling you, it's corrupt. It's awful. And I just need more people to believe in the vision so that they go ahead and follow me.
I love it. I love it. Former award-winning author of government docs.
Exactly. Yeah. Turn street corner preacher on inequality. Exactly. Yeah. When I'm not wearing an A-frame selling cell phones. Yeah.
There we go. Love it. Love it. Okay. So meter man. Sorry. Sometimes you get passengers, and sometimes because you are out and about in the city in a very high profile, low budget taxi, people find you. And at a particular cab stand, a familiar figure slides into your back seat. It's a guy named Yaphet. And Yaphet is a bald head, handsome guy. Word on the street is he has a bevy of older, wealthy women that enjoy his attentions. And this is odd because it's not how most people would choose to use the muscular figure and the pretty good looks and easy smile that he has. A lot of people thinks he could do better, but by the way he dresses and the circles he moves in, he's doing just fine. um, he says, "Hey, meter man, you busy?"
I don't have another fare. Where are we headed?
There's a party going on over in Brightvale, and I can get you in if you and your crew can secure some documents. Now, this Yaphet, he's known to kind of know what's going on in town. He's given you gigs before, and
Yep.
for the most part, he's on the up and up. If you bring him back what he asked for, he'll get you paid. He doesn't want you to ask any questions, and he doesn't really want to know what happened.
Not too bad. Do you want to go while we talk? Do you want to go to the
Sure.
cafe stand on the other side of town?
Sure.
All right. So I'll start at the
and
Tabletop.
you know, I'm happy to talk in the car. We don't have to go out and be seen in public and all that.
No. He means to drive as opposed to him sitting and standing. So basically, the car is going to be kind of moving while they talk.
Yep.
Yeah. You know, appearances and all.
Mm-hmm.
So, a standard crew. I'm sure we can put something together.
Apparently, I have a guy who's providing a distraction.
Okay.
So, what I need are some folks who can kind of find the documents. Some kind of land titles. And he's on good authority that they're in the house. Anything else you cop is on you.
Do we know where in the house they should be? Are we looking for an office, safe, or do we have to figure all that out when we're there?
My understanding is that this is the home of Timothy DeSantos. He says that name and your ears perk up. Timothy DeSantos is he's a political figure, but not a politician. He is in the right places at the right time when laws are being erected, when government money is being handed out. He is part of some kind of, elite that whoever is in office, they end up working with him.
Okay. I like the sound of this. Land documents. Do we need copies or originals?
Originals. Copies aren't going to stand up in court when somebody makes a claim against the titles.
Understood. Had to ask. Some jobs are easier than others.
This pays 12 stacks. You make about a stack driving the taxi for a month.
Yeah. 12 stacks sounds good. Is that 12 each or 12 for the crew as a whole?
You run with some folks who are known to do a good enough job, so that's for you to split as you will.
All right.
I don't need to get involved in your family politics.
There's no politics. We're all pretty good about it. Besides, one of my crew, he can't abide by splitting it anything less than fair.
Excellent. So yeah, you're split, your business. I just need the job done. Is this something you want?
We'll take it.
All right. If you could drop me off the Jones estate, where the widow Jones lives, I'd appreciate it.
Of course. and we'll just head towards the Jones estate.
All right. So there is a scene that tends to happen in this game that happens at your base. Just transparently, audience, we were supposed to do a session 0 where we set up a base. We didn't do that. So if anybody's inspired, where do you guys hang out when you want to be doing the business of planning a crime, preparing for a crime, or hiding the loot?
So while Lex would not be particular about where such a thing is, he grew up with privilege. His parents were very privileged, so he would definitely insist upon / bankroll a certain level of comfort and resource wherever this is.
Okay.
So,
Ooh, how about it's under some sort of high-end nightclub? Because we could use the noise from upstairs to kind of cover what we're doing.
Yep.
So people have a harder time listening in.
Absolutely.
Plus I have easy marks. I mean, we get to know the clientele.
Yep.
And I just have to be that guy. What's the name of our club?
The Dead End.
I love it. All right.
Oh, then I get that Ray Liotta walk through the kitchen and through the long way in and whatnot. That's awesome. Yep. I'm all about it.
Yep.
So as we play, it probably won't come up, but if it does, you guys can introduce one cool, odd thing about the your base in the basement of the Dead End nightclub. We'll get to that if we get to it. This game is very extemporaneous. You guys said you haven't played this game before, so let me just we'll get to making some rolls in a moment. But you always have an opportunity to introduce something in the fiction, and if I don't like it, then I'm going to make you roll for it. And if the dice say you can do it, then well, I'll find a way around it. But this is a very collaborative storytelling process. I don't think we need that special thing now, but we'll get to that. Who gets to the base first? And is it nighttime or is it daytime? I feel that that's appropriately a good question.
Well, if it is 4:01, Lex would definitely be making his way there.
I think for sure it's got to be at night because of our day jobs and your nightlife. So I think late night, early morning.
All right.
Okay.
So he may. So Lex may just be like waking up on his down bed silk sheet, in the. In the private office that he carved out for himself down below there with the triple locked doors, because he knows you. I trust you, Loot, and
I know you,
and I know you.
Arlen is, or Meter Man is kind of sitting in at a table. His feet are up on the desk. He's kind of just eating some more ramen out of his cup.
What's it with the ramen, man? Why are you always eating the noodles?
It's warm.
I mean, sure, but like you could have real food.
Real food is messy. This is cleaner.
I'm slurping your noodles out of a thermos over there, like splash shield in that cab, like.
I drink the broth, and I have my chopsticks.
All right.
Besides, not all of us can have truffle oil pate as a mid-afternoon snack.
Okay, wait. You wouldn't mix truffle oil with your pate, first of all. You would. Oh, I see what you're saying. All right. You're making a funny. I got you. All right.
You gotta keep up.
All right.
Loot, you come into the room.
Your truffle oil hasn't been
All right.
been in your cabinet for at least 3 weeks. Hey, Loot, what's up?
Walks in, sits down, looks over at Meter Maid, smiles. Ramen again. Predictable.
I like the smoky flavor. Why change a classic?
Fair enough. He looks over at Lex. So, what's on your agenda for the day?
Well, I got to go to the street corner. Would you believe what I read about? He starts rifling through his satchel of paperwork. Like, look, did you see this policy paper that came out last night? Have you read through this yet? It's only 17 pages.
Hey, I think it's important you know this here while you're talking about your policy paper. Loot might have a lead on where your truffle oil went a couple weeks ago, even though you didn't notice it till I just mentioned it earlier.
Hey, me truffle oil as Sue truffle oil. It's fine. It's fine. I've got more.
Do you though?
Lex, you should try the ramen.
It's really good on 4th. I will say the best is over by the Jones estate. I just got a fresh cup. Oh.
Is the Widow Jones, is that a name that we know, Mo?
She is a former debutante who married very well, who is part of the socialite crowd.
Yeah.
These days she's a bit of a kingmaker.
Nice, I like it. Probably one of the innumerable people that was disappointed in me when I didn't go ahead and achieve my full potential.
When you were not achieving your full potential, she was very deftly dodging any spotlight of how or why her husband died.
I like it. Got it. Black Widow. Got it.
Widow.
Widow.
Don't
technically correct is the best correct.
But honestly, Miss Laredo, how was the show?
Yeah, right.
So, Lewanika, when you're ready, you have the heist.
All right. So we've got an inn, and we've got a job. It should be a little challenging. We have to get some papers, but we don't know where within the property it is exactly. So we're going to have to reconnoiter, get some ideas, figure out where things might be. Plus, figure out how we're going to get in, how we're going to make our way in to be able to get the best info. We're to get some land deeds, some documents, land title deeds from Timothy DeSantis.
Do we know where his house is?
You know where his house is.
Yeah.
Loot has cased this house several times. Loot's going to tell me if Loot has tried to break in his house before. And I want to say Lex has been to this house as a young person, but it has changed hands.
Yep. And Lex would definitely be looking to see if he can get blueprints of this house, if nothing else.
There we go.
I would say Loot has not been there. This is a challenge he hasn't taken yet.
Okay.
Well, what we need to do is, one, figure out how we're going to get into the event. A distraction is going to happen. I don't have the particulars on what the distraction is, but that should give us the ability to get into the unseen places. But we're going to have to make sure we know where it is, or at least in all the notable places, be able to get it, communicate with each other if one of us gets it, and then make for an exit.
Yeah, so Lex would like to using the access to resources at his regular or I guess former day job, but he would like to go ahead and see. He probably knows where where publicly accessible blueprint, building plans and stuff like that are. So he'd like to get access to that information so he can see what does the house look like, what are where would the architecture suggest safekeeping would be? Are there saves on site? Are there panic rooms? What do we got?
And just for the record, what we're going to do tonight is everybody's going to have a move before we enter the heist phase of the action. This game is notorious and wonderful for requiring very little preparation. Okay, we're going to get into the setting. You're going to establish what your load is. Okay. You're going to establish how many things from that list of items you can pull from your butt spontaneously in the middle of the game. You're not going to mark those items before time. Okay? During the game, you're going to mark those items as they come up. So, of course, you don't have to have 50 feet of rope if you don't need 50 feet of rope by the end of the game. We are going to make a engagement roll after we each do a roll to get some information on this. And then we're going to enter the scene. You have a thing called stress that you can use to push. You have a thing called stress that you can use to assist other players' rolls. You have a thing called stress that you can use to create a flashback. That is to say, actually, I know exactly what's going on because this guy who's trying to shoot me in the face, he and I went to high school together.
I like it.
Okay. And you will burn stress and we will roll to see how that works out. So those are the mechanics of this game. You guys said, hey, you hadn't played this game before. That's how it's going to work. Lex, what kind of roll are you going to make to get information on the plans of this building? Now, you used to work in a government job, so you may have some contacts. You may want to use one of your resolve rolls to either command, consort, or sway with somebody you used to work with. You may want to break into your old job and use hunt, study, or survey to find those plans yourself. Actually, you might want to use wrench to actually break into your old job to do the thing. And I don't know why you would want to skirmish or wreck something to find these plans, but also finesse and prowl would also be effective approaches. If I don't understand why you would use skirmish or wreck, but you have a great cinematic excuse for using it, let's have the discussion. If I don't find it too absurd, I'm sorry, I'm going to be the GM and the final arbiter. If I don't find it too absurd, we'll do it.
I like it.
It's just a game.
So I think definitely he would approach this from a study angle. Again, what I'm trying to find I'm hoping that there may be either publicly accessible or accessible with a little bit of research. If I do need to cajole my way into my previous employer, I worked for a government agency. I am sure that I know the door that's used for a smoke break. I'm sure that I know the operative that goes to lunch at 13:30 and has a particular vice that I could go ahead and shoot at him to go ahead and let him enjoy his lunch break and look the other way while I'm slipping in. But I definitely would like to study. I think would probably be my preferred. If I need to sway to go ahead and hit up that connection, that's totally fine too. I can do that.
Okay. I like the idea that so I'm going to say a thing, right? This is the world. Government jobs don't pay well, so there's nothing publicly accessible.
Fair enough.
Of any use. But anything can be paid for or bartered for. So I like the idea of using a
Yeah.
resolve roll for this.
Yeah.
I think if you wanted to use a study, I'm going to make you break in first. So
Yeah.
you're going to have 2 rolls.
All right.
So you
So
can have 1 roll to resolve or 2 rolls to study.
Yeah, I will. I'll sway then. I'll do the 1 roll. I'll sway. I find.
What's your NPC's name? Who you used to work with?
Let's see. All right. There's an NPC named Vuko. He was a union representative. So I can imagine that they probably have an office in there, or he can connect me with the guy that I would need to go ahead and talk to. So maybe I don't know the dude that has the vice that I can hit into, but Vuko can hook me up. Yeah.
In your mind, Vuko's your guy. So let's make the sway roll to see if in reality Vuko's your guy.
All right. So I have 1 pip and sway. So how many dice do I get to roll? Just 1?
That means you get to roll 1 die.
Okay. All right.
Now, at any point, you can spend 2 stress to add a second die. That's called pushing.
Damn, 2 stress for 1 die. Okay.
That's right. You have a very limited stress pool. Someone on your team, if it makes sense, can say, I'm going to spend a stress to assist, and they're going to talk about how narratively they help. We also have a thing called a devil's bargain. And if you'd like, I'll give you a free die, but I'm going to narratively insert something that is fun for me, maybe not for you, into the story.
Oh, I'm totally, absolutely. I will trade you something fun for an extra die. Absolutely.
Okay.
For sure.
Vuko is very agreeable to do most things, but he's going to want a cut of anything you're doing shady. And your role is going to determine how much he's going to need from you.
Ooh, okay.
Do you want that extra dice? You don't have to take it yet. You can agree to it or not.
All right. So what do I know?
On a 6, he doesn't need anything. On a 4 to 5, he needs a stack. On a 1 to 3, he needs 3 stacks.
Okay. Okay. Before I answer this question, Mo, I've got one more question for you, and that question is: what do I know about Vuko's ability to actually cash in the deal that I'm about to make? Or do I think that
Vuko's shady as hell? Either he can or can't help you. Yep. That will depend on your role. Once again, a 1 to 3 is a failure. That is narratively something happens you don't want. Yeah. 4 to 5 is a mixed success. You get what you want, but something bad happens. Yep. And a 6 is a full out success.
So that my question is more that I'm happy to go ahead and make the deal with him and let the dice roll determine about what I tell Vuko right now I will give him for his help. However, how likely do I think I'd be able to skirmish with him later to convince him that deal is maybe not necessary?
So skirmish in my understanding means punch in the face.
Yeah, for sure.
So you mean skirmish?
What I mean, I'm happy to make the deal now if I can go ahead and fight my way out of it an hour from now.
Vuko is shady. Vuko is Weasley. Vuko has some shady friends.
Okay. All right. So I may be.
We can kick this can down the road, and you can try to deal with it later if you like.
All right. So I'm going to make the deal now, and of course I'm going to tell Vuko, absolutely, I'll cut you in depending on how the dice roll out here. But just to let you know that, I may try to go ahead and change his mind later. But for right now, I will take the extra die, and I will make Vuko the offer that we'll see what happens here. So
all right.
Oh, jeez. Okay, I rolled a 1 and a 3, so that did not.
So the highest die on your roll is a 3.
Yeah.
So that means you get some plans that are clearly from before the original occupant moved in.
Okay.
And so what you can't be certain of is if there's any hidden anything.
Yep. All right.
It appears to be a 3-story home. It has a basement wine cellar.
Yep.
On the first floor, it is clear that it's where all of the entertaining goes, and there are several bedrooms, offices on the third floor.
All right. And anything on like the second floor, or any plans for the second floor in between?
Sorry, the
first floor.
It's 3 floors: basement, first floor,
Basement,
second
first.
floor.
Gotcha. Okay. Yep. All right.
The way things work out, you have to sketch that.
Yeah.
They're not going to actually give you the paperwork.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That is a point that probably after. So Vuko, I promised Vuko the stacks. I said that his price is high. Yep. I said his price is high, but but it's important. So fine. We'll do that. After I get that, although, and after they're like, oh yeah, here are these plans from 50 years ago, like whatever, like it's a building, congratulations. I will definitely, because I'm sure that there's some sort of like private message or something that I can send, to basically just send a message to Vuko that just says thanks a lot, kind of thing. If he can't pick up my sarcasm, then that's on him. But
he says, anytime, I'll see you soon.
Yeah, I'm sure. All right, so eventually I'll bring these back to the hideout there, and kind of like throw what I've got on a table. Like, this looks like crap, guys. I got some information, but basically we're going to be working upstairs. I'm not sure what this distraction is, but I think that's where we're going to need to go. But I really don't have much else beyond that.
Feel free to ask me questions against these plans. Yeah. And I will happily fill in the details. Who's next to do a investigate scene or research or fact finding?
I can go.
Okay.
So, loot. I'm gonna use my prowl, and he's gonna go up, dressed up as a, we'll say a pool cleaner. Comes in, he's got the little net, he's got the hose, the bottles that look like chemicals.
Yep.
And he's basically going to just sneak his way onto the property and pretend to be cleaning the pool, at the same time casing out where all the entrances are, any kind of security cameras, if he thinks there's any alarms on the windows, kind of getting an idea of where escape routes might be. So if this distraction turns into a big boom, we have a second way out, versus just walking out the front door.
Sounds great.
So he's trying to figure all that out.
You got 2 dice. Are you pushing?
Not yet.
Devil's bargain.
Not yet.
Okay.
I think we'll play that up later. So I have a 5 and a 4. So you said the highest die, so a 5.
5. Okay. So you get into the house, and you're cleaning the pool. You are able to kind of survey the current state, and the first thing you're aware of is that what you're looking at doesn't quite match the plans. Obviously, there's been an extension on the first floor. There is a new patio outside, and Lord knows what else has been changed. What are you looking for?
Main things, easy access to getting upstairs.
Yep.
So besides walking up the stairs up front, like if there's a patio or a balcony upstairs, especially if it's got any kind of pillars or anything that holds the
you see a trellis. It is very sturdy. It's load bearing. It's covered in vines, and you could climb that pretty easy, to get in or to get out.
Okay. That's the main things, and then trying to get a layout of where I think the master bedroom is.
You find you kind of work in the grounds. You find the master bedroom. You see a couple of guest rooms, and you see a room that's clearly not a bedroom that also has a balcony.
Okay. And then did I find any security cameras?
You don't see a security camera, but Liza, one of the maids, comes out and she asks you to do something extra.
Okay. What could I possibly do for you?
She wants you to you look strong. She is a little on the flirty side, and
Okay.
she wants you to kind of come in the house and move some boxes for her.
I agree. Yep.
So
I can
just
do
for
that.
fun, what you just triggered was the Liza clock. Liza's
Oh,
one of the
okay.
maids. And we have 1 tick out of 4 on the Liza clock. If we get to 4 ticks, Liza's going to recognize you later.
Okay.
So nothing bad has happened.
Not yet.
She just got a good look at your face.
All right.
Meter Man, what are you doing?
So I am looking at a couple different options, and I think the best option for me is to go ahead and try to make connections with folks who might actually be kind of similar, but in a different way. I'm not actually intending to go into the property at this time, but somebody who might have some knowledge of the building, but somebody that I may have helped in the past. Y- um, Back in my old days when I was known as Driftlock, I did some ferrying of folks across dangerous parts of town during the war, that type of thing,
Mm-hmm.
and helped several families get to safe places um, here in this town from where they were,
Mm-hmm.
connect them with folks, get them papers, work with resistance, that type of thing. And so I think I have some connections that are probably amongst the quote unquote help
Mm-hmm.
that might be able to help me narrow down things. So I'm thinking that this would be more of a consort type of role because I'm thinking of, hey, I helped you in the past. I'm not
Yep.
asking for much.
Yep.
Just give me an idea. If the boss was going to keep something very important to him and keep it locked away, hidden tight, where might that be? Where would that be?
Gotcha. Uh, so let's go ahead and make a consort roll.
Okay.
How many dice you
And
got in
so
consort?
I have 2 in consort.
Okay. Are you going to push?
Um, Remind me again of what the push would look like in this case.
Cost you 2 stress. You get another die.
Okay. And so 2 stress for another die. And how much stress do I have before things start getting squirrely?
I think you got 8.
I'll give it a try since no one has pushed yet. Y'all cowards. I got you. So that'll give me 3 dice. And what's my target?
Sorry. On a 1 or 3, something bad happens. On a 4 or 5, you get what you want. Maybe something bad happens. On a 6, you get what you want, and it's grand.
Got it. And we're counting the
Highest die.
It's the highest die.
Yep.
That highest die is going to be a 4.
A 4. All right. You know a maid named Liza. We're going to tick the Liza clock.
Excellent.
Yay.
And and Liza is the daughter of somebody you helped get through the war. And you are very circumvent in asking your question. And she's not married. She's looking to be married. you look able-bodied, and she's flirty. And I'm sorry, what's the line? For a man, you have the best voice of any man she's ever seen. How about that? They call that a callback. And she will let you know that all the good stuff is up in the office. She doesn't clean the office, but she knows that there's a safe in there, and she would definitely caution you about going in there because she understands that they're traps.
Okay.
And she'll let you know that the office is a balcony right off of the pool area. And that will absolutely confirm what Loot suspected of that not bedroom.
Sounds good.
All right. It's the day of the party. You guys all have invitations. They are not in your government names, nor are they in your monikers. Who's dressing up? Who's not dressing up? Who's not dressing up?
Oh, I'm definitely dressing up.
Okay.
Oh, sure.
I'm gonna kind of stick the kind of role that I would normally have, and I am going to go as a +1 type of situation. So, like,
Okay.
I guess I'll dress up somewhat, but I'm not dressed
Right.
to impress.
You're not to
It's
be
more like
you're not attracting eyes.
Yep.
Got it. Okay. We're going to do our engagement roll. So, kind of what's the plan, guys? We're going to go wait for the distraction, go and get the stuff and get out.
Yeah, I think that's it. But I will try to get an idea, and once we're in, scope out what kind of, I guess, assuming that there's going to be protection or some kind of guard or some kind of security, I'm gonna try to get eyes on and identify the protection. I guess if you were to kind of take it to the leverage kind of concept, I'm getting ready to be the hitter. I'm
Gotcha.
gonna know where they are, so I'm in position, so I can do the thing to let those who are possessing of much finesse do the finessing.
Yeah.
So
All right.
I will handle business.
Gotcha.
And on top of that, before we, while we're kind of like comparing our notes based on what we did here, and I recognize now that my plans are bogus, right? But if they're saying basically like there's that extension that's built next to the pool over the porch there, I do want to kind of understand, like, based on the plans that I've got, can I figure out, like, okay, the hallway that would lead there is this one. Like, I want to try to like imagine where that extension would be in relation to the plans that I've got. And then I want to make sure that I understand how I would go ahead and get there. I have no idea how much has changed on the inside, but there would still be logical choices that would make sense based on if you were building something in that area of the house, how would you get there and where would you go? So, like,
I'm going to describe the house in a moment, and I will give you that information. But first, we're going to do our engagement roll.
Yep, I love it.
So our plan is to go in. Meter Man's going to be the hitter, while Loot and Lex go and finesse. I love it. So we have a bold plan. Our plan has had some support, so we're going to give you 2 dice. You have help. That's going to give you 3 dice. There are factors that you don't know about, so that's -1 die. So you have 2 dice on your engagement roll. Okay. Just to let you know what's at stake, there are 3 positions and 3 effects in this game. Okay. There is desperate, standard, and controlled. And you are determining if you're coming into this in a desperate, standard, or controlled situation. 1 to 3 is desperate, 4 to 5 is standard, and a 6 is controlled. Who's rolling 2 dice to see our position coming into this? And of course, you can always spend 2 stress to push. You cannot spend a die to assist.
I mean, I would love to go ahead and break out of my streak. And Mo, you don't understand is the last time that we did an actual play here on the show was probably the single worst 3-hour span of dice rolling that I have ever had in the 20, 30 something years that I have been role playing. So it was amazingly bad. And so like I'm really trying, my first roll tonight did not break that streak for me. So I'm very interested in breaking that streak. So I would, but I'm also happy to, if either Chris or Lewanika are really feeling hot, I will happily see that. But I really want to break this streak. I'm just not sure I'm going to. So that's.
By the sounds of it,
Time
Josh,
to
that's the
gamble is when
entertainment
you're
you're
already
providing.
down.
Yeah. What was that, Lewanika?
But I'm here for it. The worst time to gamble is when you're already down, but I'm here for it.
I'm in. All right. I am. You know what? I am going to do a thing. I am going to pull out different dice already tonight. I'm going to pull out. All right. These are different dice. I'm putting. You know what? You know what? You used to be on the RPG Academy. I'm breaking out my 12-sided D6.
Nice.
Oh dear.
My double D6. RPG Academy die. Don't lead me wrong. So if I roll 2 1s, that's bad, right? Like that's
it's a roll.
It's yeah, 2 1s. I rolled 2 1s on that one.
All right.
Yeah, so I think my result is a 1, which is the best roll, really.
So,
is it too late for guys? My stress.
Yeah. Plays it lays, man. Yeah. All right. So, you guys go into the house. Tell me how you're dressed, Josh.
So I think that Lex would have wanted to dress in like the finely tailored, sleek, arrow collar, kind of like 1920s throwback sort of like future jazz kind of look, like it, almost like it's set in the future, but it looks like it wants to replicate what like a jazz zoot suit. But he's been thinking about this a lot, and he was like, he's kind of pissed at Vuko for not getting him the right thing, and like just it's just kind of it's been on his mind. He hasn't been in his right. So like it just, you're exactly right. He's got like toilet paper hanging off of his shoe, or there's something not right about it. Something like, either he's like the tie, like he couldn't get his tie tied right, or like, like his pockets are on the outside, or like something happened. So it's like he wanted to look like really, really stylish and hip and cool. And it's just not. There's something that's not right about it.
Okay. How do you look, Loot?
Loot. He's going to come in. He's got nice black slacks on. He's got nice dress shoes, but they're actually custom. They've got a little more tread to them than normal dress shoes. Because any guy knows if you wear real dress shoes, you're not running. You're just sliding in place, I call it.
Right.
He's got a very kind of a dark blue silk button-up shirt on. And then over the top, he's got this custom-made black sports jacket. It's cut just a little bit bigger on the side so he can kind of hide some things in his pockets when he needs to.
Love it.
But try not to look, obvious.
And how are you dressed, Meter Man?
So I'm wearing black slacks, black shirt with a red trim where the buttons go. And I've got a brown leather jacket, not quite shiny leather, but not dull leather. I've got my aviator lenses or aviator sunglasses on, and of course, because of the style, this is me with a big old afro
Mm-hmm.
and a handlebar mustache that comes all the way down, and just walk in, styling, nice
Okay.
black dress shoes with nice deep red laces.
Okay. As you guys walk in, you appear to be late for something. Everyone, you guys come into the foyer. To your left, as per the plans that you saw, Lex, is the grand staircase. It is maybe 8 feet wide, and it goes up and kind of curves around and takes people to the second story.
Okay.
Okay.
How far off are my plans at this point?
That looks just like where it's supposed to be.
Okay.
Your plans said that to the right of the staircase going up, were stairs going down. You don't see that.
Okay.
Okay, to the basement. Everyone has their back to you except for the 4 heavies at the door. One is standing next to the staircase going up. One is standing next to the kitchen as wait staff come in and out the swinging doors. There's 2 swinging doors, one in and one out, with appetizers, and actually not appetizers. Every wait staff is carrying champagne. They're preparing for a toast, and there are 2 more people into the walkway, and one person accepts your invitations. They look them over. They say, "Welcome, you're in time for the toast."
Excellent.
You hear a woman. You can't see. It's a sea of people. There may be 200 people in that dining room. It is about the size of your nightclub if you took out all the bars and the seating and everything. There's a big, long table in the middle. You can tell it's there because you see the void of heads where the table is. And someone says, "And to someone who is so wonderful, how could we not? Thank you for everything. Here's to you, Timothy DeSantos." And everyone says, "Hear, hear, hear, hear." And you hear people sipping. People put their glasses down. You hear the audible clank of people putting their glasses down and start to clap. And someone screams. And the guards go on high alert. And they try to shove you into that room with those other people. They're not letting anybody out of here. What are you doing?